Hey.
Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, been like spent the morning learning how to thread a sewing machine. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
really.
Wicked. Successful?
No, I can do the actual act of sewing, but the preparation part, not at all.
No.
And I just
Oh.
can't get it to work, so I'll have to wait until my
Have
girlfriend comes home to fix it.
have you got like a plan to sew anything like major? Are you thinking like this is you now, just hand sewn clothes from here on in? Like,
Um, yeah. I wish I was that. I wish I could. I don't. I think that's too far fetched for me. I'm like level one, really.
sure.
I'm 5'2", so everything I wear has to be shortened. So I'm
Oh,
trying
okay.
to trying to do some trousers.
That's a really good idea though, to like know how to do it yourself, because yeah.
Well, I like when I lived at home, my mom was really handy at like making anything, so I just give her a pile of things and she would like customize them. But now I'm on I'm on my own, so
Now you're self-sufficient,
yeah,
you're away.
I'm a grown up.
Yeah. Nice one. Oh, wicked. How's your you must be bored of it, I'm sure, but how's your lockdown been then? Where are you? Like what are you
I live in Brighton, so it's
nice.
been okay. We live like more or less on the beach, so that's been really handy just to be able to feel like you're in nature and
Sure.
yeah, it's peaceful that way. I don't know. I'm really fed up of the whole thing now. I just want like an end date so I can plan
Yeah.
towards. Um, I've been timing wise. I was meant to be making an album anyway, so it's kind of been good that I've been forced just to direct all my energy towards that.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's been okay. It could
Yeah.
have been a lot worse. I can't really complain.
I say that as well. Like I'm like, oh, I can't really complain, but we all know that mentally, like we're so exhausted at the same
Yeah,
time. Like
yeah. No, it's like a fine line between wanting to complain when like you're in a situation of privilege, but also being like, but mentally, I
yeah,
haven't seen anyone, and you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
How's
Yeah.
it been for you?
Yeah, it's again like can't really complain like in that I've been coastal as well, so I was in Bournemouth on the coast up until a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and then I was working a bit, and obviously like with tours cancelled and everything, I've moved back home to my dad's for a bit, so I'm on the Isle of Wight, and
Cool.
it's nice, like you said, it's peaceful, nice sea, like coastal place. But yeah, it's a head fuck, isn't it? The whole thing.
Very much. It's the only way to define it, really.
Yeah, like the whole thing's just been a complete. But yeah, it's like we say, we're lucky, really, aren't we? Like we're healthy, and it's fine. It's fine. The world will be all right again. Fingers crossed.
Eventually.
Yeah. So you were saying about, so you have, you started recording then? Are you working on the album now, or?
I'm just like writing it right now.
Nice.
And I have ideas for recording, but initially I was hoping to make it in America, and I don't really see that happening anytime soon. So I was just in Ireland. Tommy, who plays in my band, made my first album and plays with me. So we went together just to like do some demos and stuff. So maybe we'll end up making it over there.
Cool.
But it's been nice, kind of. It's been nice and also tough to do everything on my own. But it's been, I think, with my last record, I co-wrote, and I have some regrets about like not just trying to do everything myself. So with this album, doing it all on my own has been really fulfilling, actually.
Oh, cool. Like, do you find it more stressful, or do you find it kind of works for you better, like you say?
I think with my last album, I had so much self doubt about everything I was doing. Like I was like, am I even good at music? And
Right.
can I write a melody? You know, things like that. And then with this album, I've realized that everything is better when I just do it on my own. Like, because I only have myself to blame ever, and I prefer to have all the pressure on my shoulders than, I don't know, work with other people and potentially regret it. So it's been weird because I didn't expect that to happen.
That's really cool. I think that's a really cool confidence signal, though, isn't it? That you're trusting yourself to go, if it's good, it's on me. If it's bad, it's on me. Like, and I'm good with it. Like,
Yeah, it's the conclusion of kind of like, I have to live with it, because if you can work with other people and they can, for a day, write a verse, but they don't have to sing it how many 100 times I'm gonna have to, and
yeah,
yeah, yeah, it was a good lesson, I think, to learn.
cool. Oh, that's really cool. Wicked. Right, I have to say something, so I'm going to say it. Uh, so I'd like to remind anybody watching that that they can support venues all around the country by donating to their fundraising campaigns that are all listed on the IVW website, independentvenueweek.com. And if people would like to donate to multiple venues, they can do that on the general fundraising campaign listed at the top of the page. Yeah, I think that's my official bit done. So yeah, we've got some questions that people have kindly kind of submitted, so I'll crack on, shall I? Yeah, wicked. I'm loving the fact you've got between two. Have you ever seen Between Two Ferns? I'm loving the plants that you've got nicely lined up behind you.
It's not my doing. We're moving house next Monday, so this is the only nice together part of the whole apartment.
I got you, yeah. No, yeah. I love the symmetry. I'm just sat on my bed and it's all horrible, but you've got foliage. I like it. Wicked. So let's crack on. So Alex Wilson messaged in and he wanted to know what artists do you listen to when you want to relax?
Right now, last night I listened to the whole Claro album.
Nice.
And I think that might be my favorite album of last year. I just keep going back to that. I listen to a lot of Bon Iver. I think that's the perfect background music for just, I don't know, when you're having the worst day or if you're trying to cook. It kind of applies to so many things. But I think that's definitely my go-to. What about you?
Oh God, if I want to relax, it's weird. Yeah. For me, I go back to old kind of James Taylor and kind of soft Americana stuff.
Yeah.
Some kind of reassuring, soft voice that's from Texas seems to do it.
Like a hug in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, wicked. So, okay. So, Gordon Finley wanted to know, do you have any new music coming out?
Not. I mean, the thing is, now it's when are you gonna have a show again or anything again? I'm really happy with what I'm making right now, and it's the most content I've been with anything I've made. But I couldn't tell you when it'll come. Hopefully soon. I wouldn't I don't know. I mean, it's hard to predict the future, but I wouldn't like to have what's going on prevent time scales. But who knows, really?
Yeah, sure.
You have an album, right, coming soon?
Yeah, on Friday. The album's out on Friday.
Not soon.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's weird because it got delayed. So it's, for me, it's gone, it's happened, but it's not. It's still to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre doing music this year. You did a good thing releasing last year.
Just accident, really. How do you feel about it coming out on Friday?
It's weird. I'm really excited. I'm excited for people to have it, and hopefully it's something for people hopefully to enjoy at a time where music's not around. There's part of me that's reasoning with myself and going, you're there for people,
Yeah.
and then the other part of me is like, God damn it. I want to go and do a show, and it's weird to not live it, especially as my first kind of thing, to put something out and not be able to live it. It's it's a strange, so it becomes this different thing now. But like you said, when it will get back, we just don't know when, and when it does, it's kind of all waiting for us, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's a
if people
really
donate,
good,
yeah.
all waiting there.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
do you like? Are you gonna do virtual shows? Do you think, or how are you gonna?
So I'm doing a live stream. I'm supporting the Sleaford Mods for a live stream in September,
Cool.
and but that's the only thing that I will have done so far. Are you doing them? How do you feel about them?
Uh, I think the ones that are done like high tech in venues and stuff where it's as close to the live experience as you can possibly get are
Yeah,
incredible, and I really am on board with that idea.
yeah.
But I think like as far, sorry, there's a motorbike. I think as far as like using your iPhone and stuff to do them, I don't know. I just really I love that that's how people are connecting, and I have done one like that, and I understand why, but it's just like the sound quality and sometimes the uncomfortability of it all just feels like unnatural.
Yeah, I got you. I think there's two ways of like, I quite like when people have done kind of intentionally lo-fi things.
Yeah.
I think they work quite well. It's when it's like it's kind of set up differently to be like this. I don't know. We've dimmed the lights and we've lit a candle, and you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's when it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I film myself doing these things and then just not put them out because I've gone, oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
You look at it and go, oh God, Christ, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
No, it's like everybody's turned into a YouTuber. It's a weird, like, dystopian kind of thing. I don't know. I feel conflicted on it. I think ultimately it's a really good thing if,
yeah,
people feel good for it happening. But I don't know. I don't know.
it's strange, isn't it? There's that kind of. I feel the same as a kind of case to be made where you're like, are you sort of giving everything that you have on just because you don't know where to put it right now? You know,
Yeah.
there's this, and it's tempting to do, isn't it? Because I've definitely had a few mental breakdowns about it because I've been like, my first initial reaction was like, I need to do more. No one
Yeah.
knows who I am. I need to do more, more,
Pressure
more.
as well. Like everybody was on it for the first month or two of lockdown. It was like, okay, well, this is the future of touring for now. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And then, but then I think everyone, like the consciousness changed, wasn't it? Where it was like, if I see another,
Yeah. It
if
was
I
a really
see
quick shift.
yeah,
Like not
yeah.
one too many, and people are like, nah, I don't know anymore.
The same with quizzes, wasn't it? Everyone was like, I'm the quiz master, bring on the quizzes. And then everyone was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, no more quizzes.
I don't want to see. I don't want to hear about a quiz or see a quiz forever. After
I
that.
think everyone feels that way. It's like pub quizzes are dead after this because people are
Yeah.
just sick of them. Like,
Never. Like, where was, I don't know. I can't see the huge appeal for quizzes, anyways. And suddenly there was like everyone's gonna have a quiz. Every family, every group of friends.
funny, isn't it? It's like
So odd.
so odd. Yeah, imagine that a pandemic happened. Everyone's like, quick, roll the quizzes out.
Everybody, get your best general knowledge. Let's go. So weird.
The pressure of that, like, why don't you know who was president in like 1972? Like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, bizarre. But yeah. Okay, I think I've got another one from. So Maya Gray wanted to know, do you think that we need to see a shift in female representation at festivals and radio presenters, and just across the entertainment industry?
I think, yeah, and I think equally as much as representation is so important in, like, I think it's so inspiring as a young person to see someone who resembles you on stage doing the things that you want to do. Um, it really proves that things are possible. Like, I know I saw Avril Lavigne when I was like 7 years old, and I was like, well, that's it. That's
Okay.
I'm gonna do that. Not
Yeah.
exactly, but um, and I think what's that is really important, and I think there should be equality across like all festivals, all shows. Um, I think equally needs to happen behind the scenes as well. I think that's less spoke about, like in the industry, people in record uh, shops, record companies, and I don't know, everything needs to be equal, and I don't think that's spoken about enough. Even like, I think in the female producer world, there's like 5% producers that are I could have just made that up, but I'm sure I read something about it being really, really low.
Yeah.
And I think there is definitely a push behind representation on a festival and live scene kind of stage, but I think there needs to be more in a, you know, the rest of the industry kind of way. And radio wise, I don't really know, because I don't listen to that much radio, but I love Lauren Laverne, so that's as much as I know about that, really.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you're dead right. It's as much as it is the representation of seeing people on stage, it's who's booking people, and it's who's working at the companies, who's the radio plugger, who's the, you know, it's all the other kind of job roles now, isn't it, where it's like, but is this broadly represented in the other roles? I think you're dead right, because I think that's when change will happen, truly.
Yeah. You have like all the stepping stones to like the live platform and getting shows and bands coming up. I think like there needs to be people channeling them along the ways, and if there's no diversity in that, then how can you expect diversity at the top, you know?
No, totally. I saw like with like some of the festival, obviously prior to coronavirus, but some of the festival lineups where, you know, they were still looking pretty male dominated. I'm sure you saw some of the posters go around, like the, you know, Sausage Fest and all the rest of it. But like, it's true though. Like, it was quite shocking to see that, you know, there was still these 80% full of male bands. Like, it's like, there's a lot of female artists. What's going on?
And it's like, I hate the argument of like equality wise, like there's just not enough good like female bands or whatever, and it's just not, it's just so far.
That's not true.
There's so many. It's just an easy excuse. And I think as well, I don't know, like with that argument, I saw a lot of lineups come out last year of completely male dominated bands that like majority I think are fucking awful. So
this is it, you know, that like people, if they use that thing of like, oh, there's not enough female good artists or good bands, you're like, so you're saying that all these male bands are really good?
The best ever.
Like, you really?
I'd much rather see like a small like female, but like Porridge Radio or something, than go and see, I don't know, some huge arena. There's a lot of huge arena male bands that I'm like, festivals, but you know.
Yeah, no, totally. I'd echo that completely. Wicked. So Martin Bolwood, he has a question for us both. He's thought about this one. What do you have on your chips?
I'm a really big fan of loaded fries or loaded chips. I really like a Vietnamese one. I know this isn't like,
this is pretty extra, Bridie.
Quite extra, yeah. I mean, if I was gonna go, like, if I was craving chips and I just wanted to go to the shop, I would get, there's like a couple of these fry places in Brighton where you go and they just have like 100 dips. It's just fries and a cone and then 100 dips. And I would go there and get like cheese and curry wurst sauce or whatever that is.
Nice, yeah.
And if I was going the extra mile, I would get like the Vietnamese ones with like, I don't know, katsu and spring onion and peanuts.
Wow. Oh, you turned it into
I love potatoes in general, so anything, like any variety, I'm in.
Nice. Wicked. I was just I got ketchup.
Just ketchup?
I'm going ketchup. I think ketchup, solid. For me, it just does the job of 1,000 condiments.
It's true.
It has the sweetness, it has the sourness.
It's true. I mean, you can't go wrong. What about like salt? Do you have salt on them?
Yeah, a lot of salt, a lot of vinegar. Yeah. Used to drench them actually, like, so they were literally sodden.
Me too.
Yeah. Why do we do that? What's that?
I'll still stand by. I'll still do it.
Still do it, yeah?
Yeah. I had a friend who could like do shots of vinegar. So I think mine is kind of less soaking them isn't as bad as that,
No. You say you had a friend that can do. Like the question, I suppose, is why. But like, if it's
Yeah.
just, if it's just a case of I can do this.
Yeah. Well, it used to be like she could and would often to prove that she could. There was also, KFC gravy. It comes in those little pots.
Yeah.
I don't really like gravy, but she loved it, and she would often like do a whole one of those. It was like 1 year when we were younger where, I don't know, that kind of like, I can do all this crazy thing, look at me.
Like, I can fit my fist in my mouth. Watch. Yeah.
Yeah. I had another friend who who did that often as well. So maybe it just says about the company I kept,
I like it. No, look, if people have got these talents, why hide them? Like, yeah. Cool. So I've got another one from Esther Kirk. Wants to know, who did you pretend to be when you were 14, or who did you pretend to sing along with?
It was Avril Lavigne. Probably not when I was 14, but my earliest memories of like wanting to do music was because of Avril Lavigne and hearing, is it Let Go was the name of one of her albums, and then that sparked a whole obsession, and I would steal my parents' like camcorder and set it up in my room and make my own music videos. And those exist. So I don't know where they are, but I know my mum has them, and someday
I'll dig them out.
surface.
100% dig them out.
The thing is, I've never seen them, but I can remember exactly what I was doing, and I'd like set up like a stage in my room, and the most dramatic, emotional performances I was given. Like, I know how much I meant that sing along karaoke thing. So
They're the best though. I mean, I do that now as a 30-year-old.
I do that sometimes. Do you ever do it to your own music?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that as well.
Yeah. God, yeah.
It feels good though to like.
It was really good. Yeah.
In your living room and have a whole one-person performance.
No, totally. I used to have I pulled pallets in from like around the corner shop and like set up a pallet stage and used to just go for it and like plug in my mic and just just why not?
It feels good, like
totally. Yeah. Do you know, I think it's interesting you say about Avril Lavigne, like it's never like a cool thing to admit, is it? But I think it's like, for me, it's like if I think about the Spice Girls and I think about just seeing a female do something and be powerful with it, like it really resonates with you into like adulthood, doesn't it? Like where you go, oh God, yeah, no, that person really sparked something there. Like,
it's like, it goes back to that whole representation thing as well. Like if I hadn't seen Avril Lavigne at that age do that and be so like, I don't know, she had this whole fuck you attitude, and I was quite a polite kid, but I loved that. And just because she was this tomboy who skateboarded and stuff like that, I'd never seen anybody do that or act like that publicly and be successful and like have fans for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if I didn't see that at that age and that subconsciously wasn't in there, would that not have kicked any sparks off?
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think it's that accessibility, that stuff that's accessible for younger girls to see is so important. Like, no, it's wicked. Cool. So I was gonna go with, okay, so Marion Worley wanted to know, how important is LGBT representation on stage and behind the scenes in venues? And do you think that there is more that venues or public spaces could do to make themselves fairer for LGBT people?
I think, again, like, I think it needs to all be equal. I think it's great that there's festivals like Pride and stuff that really I think it's great that there's festivals like Pride that really like lift people up, and there's so much representation. That's great, but it has all become a raging. Sorry about that.
He's made it in. I presume we don't know.
I don't know. Kind of sounds like it.
Yeah.
But no, Pride, I think it's great that there's so much representation there, but it is just one festival a year, and it has become a bit corporate. So I have my feelings about that, but just I think in the past, like since I've been in the music scene and doing shows and stuff since I was like 16, I have noticed a lot more queer people, a lot more inclusion, and a lot more, pushing each other up. And it has seemed to be more of a community thing of each other helping each other out rather than the general everyone pushing it up. But yeah, I always think there can be more queer representation, especially in mainstream media. And I think regarding venues, I really believe in the whole there should be all gendered an all gender bathroom choice. I think it's all. I know there's this whole argument about, oh well, I don't want to be in a all gendered bath. I don't want to be forced into an all gender bathroom. Because I don't know who's in there and blah blah blah, and people are threats, which fair enough if you feel that way, but there should always be an option for people who don't feel comfortable going into a male or female bathroom.
Totally.
And I think it's all just about options, and making sure people feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I find it strange that I was working for a university for a little bit prior to lockdown, and they had all gendered bathrooms, and it's weird because you get not spoiled, but you kind of realize outside of that there's so little of that actually, and
Yeah.
it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and it should just be,
I'm gonna shut the window really quick.
This is, you join me, Billy Nomates.
Just a lot of lorries. Fair enough.
Oh, anyway, yeah. Yeah, but no, I think, yeah, I totally agree with everything you said. And yeah. Do you feel like on a personal level then, do you feel that it's a safe, fair space for you to be in? Do you feel that, as the artist that you are, do you feel represented, and do you feel represented well in just
the
in the industry and the music that you make and where you play and things like that?
I feel more so as time goes along. Definitely whenever I was a huge fan of Tegan and Sarah when I was like 14. I was like obsessed with that band, and I would read everything about them, and they spoke loads about how, because they kind of started in like the 90s, late 90s maybe, and they were like one of the only queer bands around, and they spoke about how much prejudice they had in media and how hard it was to like really get their feet off the ground. And now, like, I think when I think about how it must have been for them and how it is now, like that's a drastic difference. And there's definitely so like even just like mainstream pop stars like Troye Sivan, King Princess, people like that. There just seems to be more and more and more, and they really are getting the spaces that they deserve. And it seems like a lot of big brands and stuff are really helping that, which is like, I hate when people profit off the queer community, but I also think it's great when platforms like Amazon and stuff are pushing those artists up, and Spotify and stuff for creating these pride playlists. And I think people are trying. I think they could try a bit more. And again, it's that whole thing that I surround myself with a lot of like-minded people, so I only know the comfort of that. Maybe it's not as good as I think it is.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, but it's good that you do feel that though in your kind of environment, and that, yeah, I think it's super important. And yeah. Okay, so we're almost kind of getting there, really. So what venue did you always aspire to play when you were starting out? And do you feel that have you either been there, or do you feel that you've kind of hit a marker? Is there one that's like a marker where you're like, I've played blah blah blah, and so now I'm
When I started out, I wanted to do any gig that was possible.
Yeah.
Um, and in where I'm from, Derry, I always really wanted to play the Nerve Center, which isn't like a massive venue. It's probably like, I don't know, like 300 people. And it was just like the cool place to go. Like when you were 15, we went there every weekend, every night. And it was, I don't know, when I started, I just always saw that as like, okay, one day we'll play there and there will be an audience and it'll be the best day of my life. And it happened pretty fast, and that was really great. Um, but I think then as time went on, you think of other, like, I don't
Yeah,
know,
sure.
points you want to hit. And I think now, like, I really want to play Vicar Street in Dublin.
Nice.
Like, it's so beautiful, and I've been there a million times at different things, and every time I'm there, I'm like, I want to be on that stage and do a whole show and have the whole room full. So I think that is my like goal now. And other than that, I like Glastonbury was probably the main thing I ever wanted to do. So
Have you done Have you done a
yeah,
Glastonbury?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I was super lucky that like my first album, I got invited to play like Billy Bragg stage and stuff, and I was only 18 at the time. So whenever I did that, I was like out of my head, like so just amazed that, because it's such a different world, and like I just couldn't believe I was actually there playing, and I still am amazed that I've ever been asked to do things like that, you know. But
Well, you deserve to be there, you know. You
thank you
write fantastic songs and you're a really good artist, so you deserve to be
so
there.
much.
But so I was going to link on to that then. So Grimtown, I've been loving listening to Grimtown. I think it's really excellent album, and I love the piece that you've written on the website about like what Grimtown is and kind of explaining it, and how that with the map of it and everything. It's just so cool. I thought it was a really, really cool thing.
Thank
Is
you.
that something that, like, I don't know, is that something that you kind of wrote about? Is it a nostalgic kind of nod to where you're from then? That was the kind of feeling I got.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything I write is like pretty. It's about myself. It's like a sonic diary. And my last album, whilst I was writing it, I just moved away from home. Prior to that, I'd been on tour for like 3 years nonstop, and it was the first moment. It was like a really chaotic, still moment. Um, and I think my way of trying to understand it and reason with it, and the whole love hate relationship of like being from a small town and loving it but feeling suffocated by it, and just all those different feelings. That's what Grimtown was trying to process that, and it kind of ended up as me. It ended up as a concept album, even though I was so reluctant to be like, oh, it's a concept album, because you don't need that dickhead. But in the end, kind of the whole idea was that like it was a whole different place, like that I made up, and it would be the kind of dystopia that I felt in myself, but as an album. Um, so it was, yeah, it was complicated to put that all together in one place.
It works so well though, like, you know, you say you're reluctant to call it a concept, but it really is, that it's really conceptual, like, and I think especially that digital bit that came with it, I really enjoyed. I looked through that, I was like, oh, look at all these nuggets, like pity party, and like, yeah, it was really cool. And I think you did, like, yeah, it works as a concept, so
That's
yeah.
good. That's a relief to hear, because it's like whenever that whole idea got announced, it was just, I don't know, it felt very far fetched to try and convince people of that. But I'm glad it came across.
No, I got it straight away, and I really, really liked it. And yeah, I love that 360 thing that artists do anyway when they kind of involve other elements. And yeah, it was really visually and everything. It was great. It was really, really cool.
Thank you
So,
very
in
much.
terms of what you're working on now, do you feel that like there's a shift again happening, or feel free to not answer these? When people ask me, I've no idea what to say.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like, I think before you know what you're doing, or before you like really get into the groove of writing it, that's the most impossible question, because it's like I don't fucking know. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Of course.
But I think because I'm like, I'd say I'm nearly done this album. It's I think because with my first album, it was more successful than I thought was gonna happen, and I kind of was just writing songs because I was sad and in my bedroom, and I never like I wrote a song and then it was done, and I never went back to it. You know, it was such a different way of writing then. And
Yeah.
then with my second album, I thought about it too much, where I fucked myself because I was just full of self doubt, and because of that, I reached out to other people, and it was really good, and I learned so much to work with other people. But at the same time, I really didn't like the lack of entire control. You know, when you share something, so, I don't know, I wanted to be the only author of it.
I get
Um,
you. Yeah.
so I learned so much, and I really enjoyed making my last record. But I think as well, I didn't trust my gut as much as I should. And so with this album, I've just only listened to myself and kind of stopped all the elements of like self doubt where I rely on other people's opinions. I've just been like, okay, if I like it, I like it. And I think lockdown has been amazing because I don't know if I would have learned that otherwise.
Sure. Yeah.
So I just, I feel really content with what I'm making, and yeah, it's like the trust in your gut thing. I don't know. I never really listened to that whole idea, but now I'm like, shit, really,
There might be something in it. Yeah.
more attention to that before. So just like trusting myself has changed my whole dynamic of writing music and making it, and it's made it so much more exciting. Because I think I just write now with the idea of like, well, if I like it, I like it, and if I think it's good, then I think it's good.
Good,
Who cares?
yeah. Oh, I love that. I think that's such a cool attitude, and I think I just look forward to hearing the end result of that, because I think that's when the best stuff truly can be made, because people just go, it's something I like, sod everyone, and then everyone goes, ah! Like, so yeah, wicked. Oh well, yeah, I think we're kind of coming towards the end of yeah, that's the end of the questions. I don't know if there's anything.
I had some questions, if that's okay to ask you.
Yeah, go for it.
I wanted to know who or what is the main inspiration in your dance and your videos. It's great.
The fact, honestly, Bridie, because I can't really dance, so I'm not a good dancer. I've never done a dance lesson in my life.
You're pretty good. It's
I'm
very
really
unique.
unique. I'll take unique. Well, it's just a feeling of wanting to move and not being, you know, I'm not built like a dancer, and I'm not, it's, yeah, I think it's the fact that perhaps maybe I shouldn't, perhaps I should sit sort of behind the guitar or something, but
It's
the fact
good.
that yeah, I just
Like if you feel that, like, I know what you mean, like that wanting to dance, you should like 100% do it. And it
yeah.
comes across really well. Like it's so
Oh,
genuine.
oh, I'm glad. You never know with people. Some people, it's that thing, because I understand it as well. Some people scroll past it and go, "Oh, for God's sake, look at this person enjoying themselves. I cannot stand it." Like,
Happy people though.
yeah. But no, it's just about enjoying it. There's no massive inspiration other than the fact that just want to. I think. Do you find with your stuff, maybe like if you spend so long on it or scrutinizing it, or the focus that you do give it is not particularly enjoyable past a certain stage, so when it's done I'm just like, what made this, come on, enjoy
Yeah.
it.
That's a really good way to look at things.
Yeah, because else, I mean, where does it go? It's like then you're out doing it and it's like, yeah, I just want to feel like I can enjoy it and sort of just sod it as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm getting quite old, I won't won't be able to dance forever, so yeah, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
My other question, what are you most excited about your album? Like, what's the one song you're like, I can't wait for people to actually hear this?
Oh, I don't really know. There is, right, I don't know if I'm excited. I suppose I'm intrigued to know what people think of a track called Calling Sick, which is a track about a virus taking over the world and sending everyone home from work, which was written a year ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Saw it coming.
Well, the thing is, it's actually about, it was just kind of like a silly take on, I've called in sick because something crazy's happened. Like, you know, and you phone up at work and you just like, it's nerve wracking, but you come up with every excuse under the sun.
Yeah.
And the song kind of goes through like, no, seriously, like there's this crazy thing running through town and like, you know, it's going to kill everyone. And it was a bit like, so part of me is a bit like, I just hope everyone can hear that, you know, with a sense of humour.
That's like, oh my, I can't believe you wrote that a year ago. That's so like,
It's ridiculous.
did you
It's
not
like,
have a moment of realization of like, what have I done?
yeah, kinda. That's what I mean. Like, it's just like I guess I'm just a bit anxious to make sure that people understand that, you know, it's not written. It's not one of these things that I've jumped on and went, oh, I know what I'll write about.
Yeah.
You know, it was all produced and done a long time ago. So, yeah, so that's a bit of a. But no, do you know? I don't know. There's not really. There's the singles that are out. I think I'm most proud of, and that's why they're the singles. Maybe. Do you feel like that? Do you have like one song, or is it kind of just the album in whole where you're like, ugh, like?
I think I refer back to my last album a lot because every time I make a new album, it's just like a whole different thing. And I know everybody says that, but it just is like I think because my age, like everything is changing so dramatically for me year by year. And like with my last record, I think lyrically I was trying to be too smart or too like I don't know, like trying to hide metaphors and words, and to the point where like it wasn't poetic. It was just confusing. And with this album, I think it's just the most honest I've been, and I've looked back on my first album a lot, and I think that was the most pure version of myself without any interruption. And with this album now, I've just been trying to do that and just like say things as they are and say how I feel and not hide away from anything or try to fancy anything up. Just like do it.
Yeah.
So I just like I think I hid from myself from being honest and truthful like that. So now it feels amazing to like a relief to have said those things in songs. And there's a song called Bleach on the next album, which like I just every morning before I start like working on the rest of the songs, I just play it to myself because I like it so much.
Oh,
And I haven't had that with the song in a long time. So
nice.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. I think it's weird when artists are like, oh, I can't watch or listen to anything I do. Because part of me is like, if you, like you say, you know, if you enjoy, like, I think there's such a thing about if you enjoy it and you feel it, chances are that is gonna probably filter through other people as well. And that's wicked that you know, you wake up and you're like, I want to play the song that I've written.
Yeah, part of me as well is like I like there's some songs I like love now, and because I've only lived with them and nobody's heard them, I'm like, what if I just love everything and it's awful?
There's always a chance of that. There's always a chance of that, but I think who cares though?
Yeah, that's the point. You have to live with it.
Yeah.
Nobody else does, so.
Yeah. If you love it, like, yeah. Wicked.
With your album, who made it again?
So I kind of pretty much made it and then co-produced it with Jeff Barrow. So of Beak and Portishead, because Invader is his label, who I'm with. So, oh my god, it's gone really dark all of a sudden. Yeah, so that was wicked. Like you learn so much, don't you? Like when you first start working with other people.
Yeah.
When you've just been doing stuff in your bedroom, because I was the same as you, like just doing it all in my bedroom, and then get the chance to sort of work with someone and you're like, oh my god, the world is so big. Like
Totally. How was it like because I know when you like do something on your own and then I don't know, I find that it can be hard to like also let other people touch it, you know?
Oh god, yeah, totally. Like, really nerve-wracking, but also then trying to sort of hide it and be cool with it and be like, yeah, I mean, if that sounds good to you, like,
yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's quite hard. Or if somebody says, I really dislike that, and I really think that you should go with something else, or I really think that. Sometimes it's a bit like, I look back in hindsight and go, absolutely right decision. And at
Yeah.
the time, you're like, just put a knife through my heart, why don't you? Like,
Well, like music is so like emotional and personal whenever you share it like that.
yeah,
All with like the part of like I made this, I'm trusting you not to fuck it up when you work with someone.
yeah.
But also then, yeah, the moment of like when people want to alter things that you're in love with, it is so conflicting.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, Jeff's wicked because he totally got the record. He totally got what I was doing, and we didn't do a lot to it at all, which is wicked. And I guess the only things that did kind of change were genuine, like I can hand on heart say genuinely for the best
Yeah.
and for the better. But yes, I think at the time it's good. It was a good learning process. I learned a lot from that. And I think, like you said, every time you do it, it's the next time I know, okay, here's what I want to do, and here's what I'll do different, and here's what I'll try. Or I think, yeah, it's being, like you said, trust in your gut is like, I think I know that to be a solid truth now. I mean,
Yeah.
even now, like, because yeah, the minute you kind of fall out with it, it's just everything kind of slowly unravels, doesn't it? And you really feel it inside as well, don't you? You're just like, oh my god, this is not how it's supposed to be. But yeah, trust in your gut. And like we said at the beginning, having that absolute ownership and being like, the good stuff I take credit for, the bad stuff I take credit for. The main thing is that it's me, like, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Wicked. So yeah, shall we, do you need to say anything, or have I
Yeah, I was just gonna, I think I
okay,
have
yeah.
to
Nice.
say stuff. You were more professional than me writing it down.
No, it's not at all. I should have, you know what, I didn't even think, yeah, how about this, I didn't even think that I could read it off my phone. I just spent 20 minutes like frantically scrolling notes.
That's
So you're
smart.
so right, it's on the email.
You had it already, though. I have to go like a grandparent finding it.
No, go for it. I think yeah.
Okay, I think I just have. Okay, I think I know what I. Okay, I'm
You
just
got
gonna
it.
go for it.
Go for it.
Next week I'm hosting the IVW Take 5, and I think my guests are gonna be this Dublin band called Pillow Queens.
Nice.
Yeah, they're a lot of things. They're brilliant. And if you go to the independent venue website, you can donate to multiple crowdsourcing, what's the word, fundraisers for
Fundraisers.
venues at the moment, because obviously everything is falling apart, and the last thing we need is the best venues to be closing. So that's what I think after. And then I also have to say, you can submit questions somewhere. So I don't really know that part.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can write it in the tagline.
There'll be a place to submit questions.
Somewhere.
Yeah. And just to be honest, if you just think them hard enough, yeah,
They'll go into a computer visit.
they'll find a way.
Or if you have an oil, like you just attach it to its foot and
Yeah, this is it. Just to be honest, message in a bottle, old school. Throw it in the old.
That would be incredible if just like down the street, loads of messages and bottles wash up.
We've got all these bottles that just turned up for you, like. Nice one.
They should modernize like message in a bottle.
Why haven't they?
Why haven't they done that already?
It's, yeah, I mean,
maybe we have like $1 million idea, right?
Oh, can you imagine like Moonpig or someone could capitalize on this and make it like, I don't know how, but like a card system where like, look, I haven't done the math
in a non-traditional way. Correct. It's genius. And in lockdown as well, like if you really want to capitalize off the burning world.
But this is it. Like, I mean, it's why we're all here.
This is the idea that could save all the venues that are going out of business now.
No, I
Just
know.
channel it back into independent venues.
Yeah, this is it. We did well.
We did well. That's a productive hour.
Nice. Wicked. So I think we're sorry, I've got my laptop like balanced on my knees and it's all
It's not
yeah.
bad.
Wicked. Oh well, thanks for chatting to me, Bridie. This has been
Yeah,
wicked.
you too. And
Um,
I can't wait to hear your album on Friday, right?
yeah, it's out on Friday. Wicked. And hopefully we'll like bump into each other or meet each other at some point.
Yeah. When
Actually,
everything comes back together.
yeah, 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 yeah. Wicked. Well, best of luck with finishing up the album as well. Like,
Thanks very
yeah, and
much.
best of luck with moving as well. And I've just moved and it's bloody stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna go, but hopefully well.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, yeah. Nice one, Bridie. Well, take care. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
See you again.
See you.
Bye.